Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Iyanla Vanzant. And I guess if there is a title for today's message, the title would be, "You are so much stronger than you've ever known." Sunmari, good morning. Awesome seeing you. Hello. Right, let's get into today's message. No one can do for you what you can do for you. No one can hold a space for your hurt like you can do for you. No one can sit with your fear like you can do for you. No one can make you whole like your own acceptance does for you. Yet these tend to be the very things that we are so scared to look at and deal with, while we wish or hope that someone else can just heal us. Anthony, good morning. Awesome seeing you, man. So a few thoughts from Iyanla Vanzant to lead us into today's meditation. Hey Leanne, good morning. Always really good seeing you pop in here. Iyanla says, the journey into self-love and self-acceptance must begin with self-examination. Until you take the journey of self-reflection, it is almost impossible to grow or learn in life. Self-examination, self-reflection. The next thought from Iyanla Vanzant says, your willingness to look at your darkness is what empowers you to change. Your willingness to look at your darkness. Hey Quentin, good morning. It's awesome seeing you here today. You are so welcome. Your willingness to look at your darkness. I want to pause on this one for a moment, because can the willingness to look at our own darkness, to look at the worst parts of ourselves, can that willingness exist in the presence of self-judgment and self-criticism? And sometimes it's a bit of a battle between the two. But while there is still self-judgment and self-criticism, we don't really get to a place where we can come face to face with our darkness, as she describes, or another way of saying it, with the worst parts of ourselves. I can want to take a real good look at what's there, but in the presence of my own judgment and my own criticism, a part of me still also doesn't really want to take a good look at what's there. Hey Charlene, good morning. Awesome seeing you. So we really only get to do the work that we want to do in ourselves, to make the changes that we want to make in ourselves, after we get to a place where we can really let go of all self-judgment and all self-criticism. As she says, that is what empowers you to change. Iyanla Vanzant further says, nothing destroys self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-love faster than denying what you feel. Without feelings, you would not know where you are in life, nor would you know what areas you need to work on. Honor your feelings. Allow yourself to feel them. You are the love you seek. You are the companionship that you desire. You are your own completion, your own wholeness. You are your best friend, your confidant. You are, as poetess Audre Lorde wrote, you are the one that you are looking for. You are the only one who can do for you what you are looking for someone else to do. So I always feel like I want to put one more note at the end of a message like this, because none of this is to say that we can't or shouldn't be connected to other people. But when our connections are based on our own desperate need, then we do set ourselves up for constant disappointment. However, when our connections are based on our own wholeness, we set not only ourselves free, but also the people around us. When you really work on your own wholeness, all of your relationships will become more fulfilling. So if you're ready, today's meditation is a sense of self. It is taking a moment to create a space exactly like she described, a space in which we really learn how to feel, how to allow the feelings to be felt, and how to be able to look at our own darkness in a space of love, kindness, acceptance, understanding, and then learning, when we can do that, then where am I looking from? Which part of me is it that I've stepped into in order to be able to do this? So if you're ready, here we go. You can close your eyes and let's float away together. Starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, feel yourself grow, feel yourself expand from that core outwards in all directions. And once you have a belly full of air and you feel yourself being fully expanded, then again let all of it go. And with every exhale, soften. Every time you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Continue your own full body breathing. The space that we are creating in our meditation today is an inviting space for all of our inner inner stuff to be invited into. There are so many different ways we can call this. We can call this ego, small self, emotions, narratives, darkness, the worst parts of us. All labels, somewhat helpful and somewhat not. For this journey, I like to call it our inner children. I'd love for you to invite your inner children to come and sit and breathe with us. The examples I'll use today are very simple. You can use these examples the same way, or you can interchange them for your own. I'm inviting sadness and anger and fear to come and sit with us. Are you able to see them like inner children? Are you able to watch them come closer like a grade 1 teacher calling the kids onto the carpet with her for story time? Come and sit around me. Come and take a few breaths with me. I am here to listen. Imagine that you could see sadness and anger and fear sitting like children with us, rising and falling in their own breathing rhythm along with us. And when we take the last few big breaths of this phase together and help our bodies to stretch, adjust, and settle down, these inner children are invited to stretch along with us. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles, going forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. See if you can tilt your head towards the left while tilting your hips towards the right. And then change direction, curving your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence as much as we are able to, at least, We can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this really is a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, really feel into your body and feel how softness slowly slips in and settles in every muscle of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling, feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly, and you are invited to follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, remind yourself of these inner children that have come to sit and breathe with us. The very simple example today is sadness and anger and fear. You may use your own examples. But as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, make this space as inviting as possible. Let these inner children know that I really want to hear you. I really am here to understand you. Take your next big breath. We'll turn our attention first to sadness and ask sadness to speak. Remind us of how sadness speaks within us in those moments that we feel really sad. What are the words, the thoughts, the sentences that come up inside of you when sadness is what you feel? More often than not, this is on repeat, like a recording playing again, saying the same things it said last time and the time before, and perhaps for as long as we've known. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, remind yourself of how sadness speaks within you when sadness is what you feel. Take your next big breath. Try and get a good look at this particular inner child, sadness. It is not important that you do form a clear picture, but it's helpful to try and get a good look. What does sadness look like? How would you describe this part of you if you could form a picture? Again, having the picture is not the important part, but being willing to try and see makes all the difference. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, I want you to ask sadness a question and make yourself completely open to hearing what sadness has to say. Sometimes the answer comes very clearly, and sometimes not, which is also okay. But while you take a good look at sadness, as you take a deep breath and as you dive deep inside, ask this question. Sadness, when you feel sad, when you feel all of these things, what is it that you are afraid will happen? What are you afraid will happen? Take your next big breath. Take a moment of gratitude to say thank you to sadness for showing up, for being vulnerable, for being brave. Thank you for letting me hear you. We'll turn our attention now to anger. And as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, we want to ask anger to please speak. We are here to listen. We are here to understand. Remind yourself of what are the words, the thoughts, the sentences that rise up in you in your angry moments. Notice especially which ones are on repeat, an old recording that repeats in a similar way than the time before and the time before that. What does anger say on repeat? We are here to listen. Take your next big breath. And again, open yourself to the possibility of perhaps forming a picture of what the angry part of you looks like. It's not important you see the picture, but for a moment lean into the idea of what would this angry part of you look like. And then as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, we're asking anger a question. We're saying, anger, when you feel so angry, what is it that you really want for me? What is it that you really want for us? Take your next big breath. Thank anger for showing up, for being here, for being vulnerable, and having the courage to speak. And then we'll turn our attention lastly to fear. The part of you that often feels scared. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, we are asking fear to speak. We are here to listen. We really are here to understand. Remind yourself of how you think, how words come up within you, how sentences become formed in your mind when you feel scared. And especially what is often on repeat, the same fearful thoughts saying the same thing again. Give yourself this reminder as you take your next big breath. And then while you try and form a picture of what this scared part of you might look like, as you take a next deep breath and dive deep inside, ask the scared part of you this question. Say, fear, when you feel this scared, and these moments where you feel gripped in fear, what is your deep desire for me? What is it that you desire for us? Take your next big breath. Take a moment of gratitude to thank the scared part for being here, showing up, stepping up, being vulnerable, being brave. Collect all of these inner children closer to you in whichever way works for you. You can have them sit on your lap. Maybe one of them wants to climb on your shoulders. However silly and ridiculous it might seem, lean into what comes up for you. As we take the last few big breaths of this phase together, we can ask them to take these breaths along with us. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, invite softness to slowly settle into every fiber of your being. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Making the time in some kind of a practice like the one today to deal with what is inside of us, what lives inside of us. It doesn't necessarily always solve anything or resolve anything, but it creates the opportunity to be deliberate about feeling what is there to be felt. Becoming deliberate about taking a look at what is there to be seen. And the most important part of this to me is, who do you need to be in order to be in a position to do this listening and this seeing? Because while you're dealing with sadness and anger and fear, trying to see and being willing to listen, you're not being the sadness or the anger or the fear. You've taken a step backwards, and my question is, which part of you have you now stepped into? Which part of you has this ability to hold all of this? Again, we can place labels on this, which sometimes could be helpful and sometimes maybe not so much. We could call this part of you soul, higher self, wisdom, true self. Whatever this is, this clearly is the best part of you, the really strong part of you that is able to hold all of this with so much love, so much kindness, and forming understanding. From this place, the more we do this, the clearer it becomes that what could be called our darkness or the worst parts of us, at its core really only has good intention. It is trying to be helpful. It is trying to prevent something bad from happening. It comes with warnings. Don't do this and don't do that. I see you. Thank you for trying. But I have got this. You can be the inner child. I'll hold you. And then I'll step into my soul and act from that place. From a place of wisdom and strength. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for these inner children who have come to be heard. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the ability to listen to what speaks within inside of me without getting involved in a battle with these parts. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how the better I get at taking the moment and sitting down and listening to what speaks or even cries inside of me, the easier all of those parts settle down. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to step into the best part of me, the strongest part of me, the gentlest part of me, and put that part of me behind the wheel to do the driving. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for coming along on this journey. Thank you for your own willingness to pause and really listen to what speaks and sometimes cries inside of you. Nothing inside of you has bad intention, ever. I know I repeat this almost every time we do this meditation, but it bears repeating. The beautiful words by Rainer Maria Rilke that speaks, instead of speaking about our inner demons, he spoke about dragons, and I like the change in tone. And his conclusion was about these dragons that perhaps everything that scares us is really just something that is afraid and in need of your love. I think when we realize that about everything inside of us, it enables us to step into the strongest part of us with more ease, the part with real wisdom. Good morning, Linda. It's good to see you. Good morning, Pat. Awesome seeing you too. Thank you, Sunmari. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Leshna. Thank you, Anthony. Thanks for being here, Quentin. I'm trying to remember who else is in the background. Leanne. So good to have you all here. It's awesome. I really enjoy starting my day with all of you right here. I'm super happy if it's sometimes helpful, but I do want to say thank you to you as well. Hey Charlene, I just see your face pop up now. So good to have you here. I wouldn't be starting my day in this particular way if it wasn't that I get feedback that sometimes it's helpful. So thank you to you. I love being here. Have an awesome day. Ciao, ciao.